Just the news that LA Charger fans have been waiting to finally get, and now it is official. The LA Chargers have agreed to a one-year contract with former Baltimore Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins. What does this mean, and what does he bring to the table for the Bolts here on Chargers Syndicate? What is going on, you guys? Jake Silva here on Chargers Syndicate, giving you everything LA Chargers news. If it is your first time ever up on the channel, I encourage all of you guys to like, subscribe, hit the bell button to keep you up to date on future and past videos, as well for everything you need to know about LA Chargers news. So the news is official. It finally came out. The LA Chargers have agreed to a one-year contract with signing with former Baltimore Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins. Now, we know that he visited the Chargers and he visited the Chiefs as well in his travels. Now, initially, he met with the Chargers, reunited with Greg Roman at the time. Basically, I'm sure discussed about different play schemes and many, many, many more about the plans of what the Chargers are going to plan to do, being a run-first offense. So J.K. Dobbins is an interesting one, but also provides a very good depth upside for the Chargers running back room. Dobbins, as you know, throughout his career with the Baltimore Ravens, and somebody who has a lot of familiarity with offensive coordinator Greg Roman in the past, J.K. Dobbins is definitely shown to be a guy with some positive upsides to his game. Now, the former Ohio State running back was taken in the second round by the Baltimore Ravens. In his rookie season in 2020, he played 15 games. This is where the positive upside and what his value and worth really does look like coming into this Chargers team. What he had in 2020 in 15 games with 134 carries, had 805 yards on the ground, averaging 6 yards a play, 9 rushing touchdowns in the middle of that span. Now, the thing about it is, too, he can sometimes be a little bit of a pass-catching running back, depending on what Dobbins, how they utilize him, and what exactly they'll use him more for, but they would use him more for his legs on the ground. And Dobbins, of course, missed out on the 21 season due to injury, but in 22 and then in 23, before injuries started to riddle up on him, in 22, he managed to get at least 520 yards on the ground with 5.7 yards a play and 2 rushing touchdown scores. Only thing about J.K. Dobbins is a lot of people always have said on the narrative, when he is healthy. And you're right. Once he is healthy, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. The nicest thing is he's reunited with Greg Roman and also reunited with his former teammate, Gus Edwards, as well, both in the same field and on the same team. This is where things are going to get very spicy and very interesting. So having J.K. Dobbins in this roster now only is proving Greg Roman is trying this again for a second time with both Edwards and with Dobbins, and hopefully that this pans out in his favor. Now, the thing is, the Chargers know that they are trying to become a run-first offense so that they are not overly dependent on Justin Herbert's arm all the time. They give him more chances to basically get comfortable in the pocket, change things up, have more of a pure rushing game that the Chargers know that they need to establish that they have not gotten for the last few years, but at the very least, takes a lot of the heat away from Justin Herbert to where he's comfortable enough to throw and be poised in the pocket and end up throwing deep balls when it is necessary to do so. And it's one of those things that for Jim Harbaugh's offense is all about efficiency and toughness. And that's initially what he's trying to instill in this Chargers offense. And now with having J.K. Dobbins up onto this roster, it's a very fine pick. And plus 2, he's only coming in for a cheap deal. And I think that's the other thing, too. Sometimes, yes, it sucks that injuries end up riddling, but maybe this could be a good thing for the Chargers moving forward. And from the outlook of it, when you look at the running backs room, from Gus Edwards to J.K. Dobbins, and then with Isaiah Spiller, there's a lot of some hefty runners that are on this roster. And what it kind of feels like to me is I don't know if this could be potentially the deal, but they could potentially end up grooming up for a running back in this room. Who knows what that round might be, but it kind of seems to me This is almost grooming up for maybe potentially a third or a fourth round pick for them to potentially go and get Blake Corum to be a part of this offense. Now, that's still, that window's open. Who knows exactly what Jim Harbaugh has in store with as far as his draft analysis and who he plans to basically bring along into the powder blue. But the big thing is that at least the Chargers will have a healthy enough run game. Hopefully, when J.K. Dobbins really is healthy enough, coming back from injury and not having to be super over reliant, but at the same time having a better offensive line up and around him, as he's had at least a good offensive line with the Baltimore Ravens in the past. Maybe this could then shed some light and have a brand new change of scenery mentality that could help for Dobbins to end up being a very, very good lethal rusher that many teams may have passed up on. And the Chargers were able to grab him at least a bargaining deal for them to not have to come completely out of pocket. That's going to be it here for me on Charger Syndicate. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell button to keep you up on the channel as well. And we will have more videos up and along the way as well. Jake Silva signing off. We'll see you guys in the next video, Charger Syndicate.